There are parts of the world where few of us would dare go. Where terrain is tough and temperatures unforgiving. And where mysterious myths and infamous legends still linger in the shadows. I'm Francesca Chiorando, and I'm on a mission to discover some of the most treacherous corners of the globe.
Dangerous!
Yeah, sorry! Ah!
Some scary, and others dangerous.
Genuinely thought I might die.
Places where the landscape has shaped its people. Are these really some of the most challenging places on Earth?
This place hits every single one of your senses with a sledgehammer.
And what will I discover when I get there? I'm on my way to Naples. This is a city with a certain reputation. And I'm really nervous about going there. Naples lies in the shadow of a potentially devastating active volcano. I'll be scaling its peak. Organized crime is rife. I will see firsthand how the gangs are tearing the city apart. And there's an entire underground world beneath the city that leaves me scared and confused. Naples is situated on the west coast of Italy. It's the country's third largest city after Rome and Milan, with a population of around 1 million. My father's family come from here, and he recently told me, never underestimate Naples. Meeting me at the station is Gianni Foschini. Born and bred in Naples, he knows the city like the back of his hand, so he's going to be my guide, my translator, and as he was once a military policeman, I should be in safe hands.
Hi.
Hey, Francesca.
Hi,
Ciao.
Gianni.
Welcome to Naples.
Thank you very much.
How was the trip?
It was good, it was easy.
It was good?
Yeah.
Okay, before we start, there's something special I have for you.
Okay.
This is what we call il corno napoletano. No, the Napolitan horn. It gives you good luck so you can stay out of trouble.
I think I might need this.
I start my journey in the heart of the city. Naples was once the capital of the Kingdom of Sicily, but it's now known by Italians as the Kingdom of Violence. And it's a city I've always considered a dangerous place to go. One of the dangers revolves around the Camorra, or the system as it's known by those on its inside. They're one of Italy's largest criminal organizations, made up of gangs run by 51 different families. The Camorra grew rich and powerful in the last few decades through drugs, prostitution, and construction, but the state has been hitting back. I want to see what the police are doing about tackling the ongoing threat of organized crime. The chief of police is showing us the state-of-the-art control room. Costing millions of euros, it's their eyes and ears of the entire city. This is the front line of defense against the Camorra, the mafia who operate here in Naples. I mean, this screen is covered. When they go in, it's covered in red marks. These are hotspots in the city where there's been a lot of crime in the past, and the police predict more. And some of these are on the streets that you thought were in the safe areas, that you'd probably walk down and sit down and put your bag over the back and probably wouldn't even think that much about as you would in other parts of town. But there are other streets that you go down and you probably think, oh, these are lovely, look at this, this is so quaint, this is beautiful. Actually, they're totally red. It's scary. These screens allow the police to track all of their operations in Naples with patrol cars, whilst monitoring key areas of the city using CCTV. Suddenly, a call comes in for the chief of police. What's happening here?
They're talking about something that was happening outside.
So it's literally just happened now?
Yeah, the army is protecting some places in Naples. He's reporting to him.
There's been an incident in the Sanità district. The chief leads his team in a response. And we're going with him. The police are out in force. Response cars and the famous motorcycle unit called the Falchi have been brought in too. I have to confess, even though I'm slightly terrified, it's all quite exciting.
Okay, we're going to the Sanità.
Okay. The Sanità district is the hub of Camorra gangland. We come to a sudden stop in the middle of a residential street.
Non scendete,
No.
vai più avanti.
We need to stay in the car. We cannot get out from the car. That's what he said, so.
Okay.
Francesca, there is some activity here of control. Police checking on doing some search.
So this is the stop and search?
Yeah, they just did a checkpoint, of course.
The police can stop and search anyone they suspect of any wrongdoing in their bid to finally stop the Camorra.
This is the most dangerous neighborhood in Naples. People get killed here in this square also.
In this square?
In this square, yes.
If you ask somebody, hey, I want to go there, they will say, no, you don't go there.
Finally, we're able to get out of the car. The gang members have been arrested. It's a scary situation, but the police and even the army are out in force, so I should be safe.
So, Francesca, you see there is a massive operation here, you know, with all the police and the military.
So the police and military work together?
Yeah, the police and military work together, as you see, but they're fixed, the military here.
Why have they been positioned here today?
They got a call today, and so that's what they are doing, an operation right here.
Janji then learns exactly what's been going on.
Today was caught one of the most wanted cameras here in Naples, so that's where there is a lot of this police and military right now.
So
Yes.
one of the Camorra?
Yes, exactly. Right here in this area.
So not just a Camorra member, but one of the bosses. It brings home to me just how dangerous these streets are for anyone. I'm literally meters away from one of the Camorra's top people. The pressure is quite intense. I mean, we've got the military here, the police here, and then I keep jumping because there are kids over there setting off fireworks.
This is like a message, you know, the kids is like, okay, we don't care, we play.
Playing right in front of the military, which first...
You see, yeah,
Heard
it's
what on
strong.
earth is going on?
And you never know, one day these kids will be cameras and have a gun in their hands.
This place feels like you're on the edge. It doesn't feel that safe.
It's not a place that you come alone. And right now, I think we will need to leave because the police officer asks us that better go from here right now because it's getting too much attention. Okay?
To be honest, I'm quite relieved to be leaving. Living in a city where the crime is so bad they have to bring in the military really hits home to me what a danger zone I'm in. Whilst I'm here, my life is at risk. That's quite a thought. Where the Camorra gangs are a very real and present threat to the people in Naples, in the 17th century, you were more likely to get bumped off by a member of royalty. Janji has given me an address of a secret chapel. And what lies behind the walls of the chapel of San Severo are two objects that show one man's macabre thirst for knowledge. Originally built in the 1600s, this family chapel was completely restyled in the mid-18th century by Raimondo di Sangro, the 7th Prince of San Severo. He was an inventor and scientist obsessed with the human body. He's an iconic figure of Naples, wrapped in an aura of mysteries.
This place is pretty ornate and, safe to say, very creepy. But whatever the desired effect, they certainly went to great lengths to achieve this level of grandeur.
Perhaps the chapel's most prized possession is the Veiled Christ.
This sculpture, the Veiled Christ, seems to almost celebrate pain and suffering.
It feels like you can actually see him breathing. As I continue to walk around, I can't help but be drawn further into this place. And I have to confess, I have a strong feeling I'm being watched.
These are anatomical machines created for the prince by a doctor. These are real human skeletons that were then transformed into studies.
But who are these two people, and why is their anatomy displayed in this sacred place? After a bit of digging, I learned the prince wanted these anatomical machines to unveil the mechanics of the body, showing how organs interact with each other, how the heart is the center of the vascular system, something which at the time was invisible unless you attended an actual autopsy. There's another popular story, but with a dark twist. It says Prince Raimondo allegedly had a pregnant servant and her lover murdered so he could experiment on vivisected bodies. Other stories tell the tale of the prince killing 7 cardinals in order to use their bones and skin to make 7 chairs. This place gives me the creeps. I need to get back to the land of the living. I'm glad to be out of there.
It's a little hard for me to work out how I feel about these anatomical machines. On the one hand, they're fascinating. But on the other hand, the myths and legends surrounding the prince and what he did, they're frightening. I don't really understand what happened, where they came from, where the bodies came from, and I don't understand his reasoning behind it. And seeing something like that, which I've never seen before, it terrifies me, to be perfectly honest.
It's my second day in Naples. I've met up again with Janji, who knows a shortcut to our next destination.
It's every man for himself, isn't it?
Traffic here is, you know, there are no rules. It's just like you're in a war, quote unquote, and
Try and survive.
trying to survive. Yeah.
I've never actually driven in Europe, but I think that would be pretty terrifying.
Well, let me tell you something, Francesca. If you learn how to drive here in Italy, but especially here in Naples, you will be the perfect driver in the entire world. You have to be aggressive driver and not a defense driver, because if you try to do a defense driver, then you will get eaten by the other one.
It seems everybody is just going for what they want,
Yes.
but you have to be
No
constantly
rules,
aware.
no rules.
Whoa.
You see?
Even the pedestrians just walk out.
Yes.
So you constantly have to see what's going on.
Absolutely. You always have to be aware.
From our immediate and present danger, Janji and I are off to the site of one of the world's greatest natural disasters, Mount Vesuvius. I want to see this infamous volcano for myself, in the hope of getting a true sense of its scale and the power it holds within. This is nature at its most disruptive. The volcano last erupted in 1944, but geologists have calculated it's due to explode again at any time.
So are there any myths and legends about Vesuvius?
When it exploded in 79 AD, people, they thought it was just a very nice mountain.
Okay.
So nobody knew this was a volcano.
Really?
Yes, they thought it's just a regular mountain until it happens and all the magma and lava came down. Then they say, oh, this is a volcano. Since 1944, the volcano is in sleeping mode, but it can blow.
What happened in 44?
There was a little eruption, and since then, nothing has happened. It's a real living volcano, yes.
So this is a massive ticking time bomb. We eventually arrive and the weather has closed in, just as it does in mountainous regions. It now has a slightly alien feel to it.
You are here in an unpredictable place, and you can smell the sulfur from down there. That when it's clear, you can see the smoke coming up.
Really?
Yes.
Coming from inside the volcano?
Yeah. There's the smoke of sulfur.
And this could go at any point, right?
Anytime it can blow. We're talking here, and if it shakes, you know, maybe it's our last time. You never know, but.
That's a nervous laugh, as I find it quite terrifying to think I'm walking on what many believe is the world's most dangerous volcano.
If this volcano erupts again, it's gonna be 100,000 times more powerful than an atomic bomb like Hiroshima. It will be so devastated that it's unpredictable. We never know when it's gonna happen. Here in Naples, and the people that live down there close to the volcano, they just keep going, but they know that sometimes if this erupts, they're gone.
Do you get any warning?
There is an evacuation plan
Okay.
that was used by the government, but realistic. You go in panic because of this, all the people will get in their cars and then try to go away. It's gonna be just,
Gridlock. So you're trapped.
you're trapped.
Do you find this to be a terrifying place?
Yes. Yes. Well, it's unpredictable, and and one moment you're here, one moment you have just 2 seconds to do the cross, and
Hope for the best.
yeah.
If Vesuvius erupts, this city could be wiped out in a matter of hours, killing millions of people. When it comes to death, Neapolitans have some weird and wonderful superstitious beliefs. To learn more about the dark side of the city, Janji has brought me back to the Sanità area and to the Valley of the Dead. My first stop on this journey of death is the San Gaudioso Catacombs, an ancient chapel tucked beneath the altar of the Santa Maria della Sanità Church.
I will leave you with Antonio. He is a perfect guide for you.
Okay.
Antonio is a true Neapolitan and has worked as part of the preservation team here for 10 years. The catacombs date back to 4 AD, but were lost for centuries until they were rediscovered in 1601. Although they're beneath a Catholic church, the people who buried their dead here were not. They had strange pagan beliefs that revolved around a unique death ritual.
So the bodies came down from here.
From this trapdoor?
Yeah, because here we are under a church. And so after the funeral, they lowered the bodies here, and then they put them in here.
How would they lower them? Would they be in a coffin? Would they
No,
be...
they used ropes to move them here, and then the workers had to put them in here to dry them.
Would they be sat into the hole?
Yeah, because this is like a chair.
Would they not be stiff?
No, it's because they had to sit them. So
Yeah.
sometimes they could break their legs.
So they would...
Yeah, to sit them here. And then these holes were for the heads.
And they'd lean
so
them.
the head rests, because the body's dried in here, of course, and then they had to pierce those bodies in order to make them dry.
So they'd sit the dead body here
Yeah.
and then
Then
pierce
they
it.
had to pierce them in order to make the gases flow away, and the blood too, because there were some containers underneath, and they had to collect the body fluids. This process was done for sanitary reasons. Then there was also a very popular belief that draining the bodies here, they could also make the soul free.
I can't quite imagine what it would have been like down here, with dead bodies being purged of all their fluid and gases.
Can I?
Yeah, please.
Have you?
I've never.
It feels really creepy. It smells damp. Everywhere else doesn't smell damp, but it smells damp.
Yeah.
I don't like it. How long would a body stay here once it had been relieved?
The average could be 1 year.
So the workers would be here passing people that
Yeah,
were
yeah.
decomposing every single day.
They were not very lucky people. They were poor people. The people who worked here are called, in Neapolitan dialect language, schiatta morta. We still use this word to talk about the undertakers.
Okay.
And the word, there's not a real translation for it, but a kind of translation could be dead squeezer.
Dead squeezer.
Or dead squasher, yeah.
But it certainly wasn't a death ritual for the average Neapolitan. It was an expensive and incredibly exclusive service.
So what kind of people could afford this and would
Noble
want to?
people, such as lawyers, judges, soldiers. There's also a princess.
A princess?
Yeah. So very, very rich people. They only buried 27 people here.
So not only was this incredibly exclusive, it was also incredibly expensive.
Of course.
The body was then taken to a burial chamber, which is where we're heading. I'm glad to be departing the depths of the catacombs. But Antonio's taking me to the most bizarre burial chamber I've ever experienced.
This is the gallery. This is the place where they buried those skeletons. They included the skulls in the wall, and then the bones would have been separated.
So this is what remains of somebody's actual skull?
Yeah.
And that was taken away from the body, placed in the wall.
And then they painted the skeletons underneath. So they painted the skeletons under the skulls, and the head was considered the most important part of human body.
Why?
Someone said it's the seat of the soul, and so they had to show the skull, and this is what we call memento mori. The sense is you will die, you will be like this. This is your end.
But this is showing them in death.
Yeah, but it's also a way to make them eternal.
The skull would adorn an ornate hand painting of the individual, displaying their status in society.
So there is nothing similar in the world.
It's quite atmospheric down here. I mean, it's dark. It feels heavy. Is this a place that you enjoy to be in?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel myself observed, but I try to make the sign of the cross in order to be okay in this place.
So you'd feel that would protect you?
Yeah, yeah.
The thought of bodies being left for so long, then being put on display, seems quite bizarre. I'm still not sure what to think.
So here we can see the remainders of the skulls that were put in the walls, but there are no bones here. So where are the bones?
They were all stored in Fontanelle Cemetery. If you really want to see a place where lots of bones are, you should go to Fontanelle Cemetery.
So from the splendor of the underground catacombs, where the super rich of their day were laid to rest, to a place that was the burial site for the poor, effectively just one mass grave located in a cave. It was built in the early 16th century, outside of the city walls. In just 100 years, Naples suffered 3 famines, 5 eruptions of Vesuvius, and 3 epidemics, including the Great Plague of 1656, that wiped out half the population. At one point, there were 8 million corpses here.
Francesca, qui siamo alla fine di questo percorso cimiteriale.
We are here at the Fontanelle Cemetery. This is where all the dead bodies from the plague and cholera epidemics were brought.
Enzo Albertini is a geologist who's been studying the underground world of Naples for over 30 years.
Death comes to everyone. This is the one time where there is no difference between rich and poor.
Wealthy Neapolitans were given an opulent burial.
They still look so human. He's not like a skull, this is still a human body.
You see here, it's almost mummified. You can almost see the face.
So why were these bodies brought here like this?
Perché la legge napoleonica impose.
When Napoleon took over Naples in 1806, he insisted all the bodies, whether rich or poor, to be brought here.
It's so well preserved you can still make out its features.
He's still got a nose. It looks like he still has his skin. He still looks like a face, but it's grotesque, to be honest. His mouth is... but there are no eyes. This is something that you never see. And it's a weird in-between between life, with the face, with the boots and some clothes, and death. And so I'm assuming by the treatment of the body and by the clothes that this is a man that's buried here.
Allora, lei è una donna.
Actually, this is the body of a lady. The head is smaller than a man's. This is very different to the poor that we are going to see now.
Indubbiamente portati in questo ossario.
Okay.
It's a stark contrast. No coffins, no jewels, just bones and skulls. When Enzo began studying these skulls, he discovered they were being used by a group of people who called themselves the Cult of the Dead.
Alcuni anni fa io ero qui in questo cimitero.
Inside some of the skulls, I found small unwritten notes from people who had adopted the body. They did this as they believed the soul of the people could now move out of purgatory, hoping that once they were in paradise, they would be helping the person back on earth.
So the people thought that the skulls could help them.
Perché il culto dei morti avviene.
People would ask the skulls for favors. They believed that their response would come in a dream. And if they got an answer, they would come back here and light a candle to say thank you.
Si elevavano poi nell'aldilà al paradiso. Guarda, queste sono alcune lettere che ho trovato dentro.
One of the notes is from a lady who was asking if her love could come back to her. And here there is another asking for the winning numbers of the lottery.
Ho letto quello che avevano scritto.
How I understand it, this was a Christian thing. So Enzo, why is it called the Cult of the Dead? Because that sounds gruesome.
Ma il culto dei morti.
The cult of the dead is not a negative thing. It was a group of people who believed in a way of communication between those on earth and the skulls in heaven.
It's not really the skulls that fascinate me as much as people's treatment of them. And you walk around and you see them in their own little tombs, and you see people placing pictures of their family and asking for favors, and I've never seen anything like this.
There's one skull in particular that Enzo wants me to see.
Ci sono 40.000 teschi, però uno solo è diverso dagli altri. Quello, lo vedi? Non si impolvera mai.
From the 40,000 skulls here, there is just this one that never got dust on it.
Ero qui e quello è sempre restato così come lo vediamo.
And that's never been cleaned in the whole time?
No,
But it's still perfectly.
sempre così.
And it's the only one here out of the 40,000. I mean, there must be some kind of logical reason as to why this happens, unless there is a supernatural reason, unless it's a miracle.
Ah, guarda, può essere.
It could be a miracle. All I can say is that I clean all the skulls, and it's just this one that is never dusty.
I find this place terrifying. Death is usually hidden away, but here it's laid bare for all to see. "600 years later, the dead are still remembered, but in a more formal way. Janji's taking me to see a more recent memorial to one of the Comora's innocent victims.
This stone was made in memory of this young guy, Gianni Cesarano, that was a victim, an innocent victim. You know, he was in the wrong place at the wrong moment. Well, a gang of Camorra came down this neighborhood and started shooting, and he got killed. So, you know.
It's only September last year.
Yes.
The memorial is a reminder of the constant danger and fear that everyone who lives here endures.
Sometimes, you know, Francesca, in the Italian culture, you know, like small kids just come here and then gives him a kiss, you know, to remember him, to say, hey, you are still alive in our soul. So, and sometimes they just do the cross thing, yes.
And he was
17 years old. Very, very, very bad.
All I can think about now is how devastated I would be if I lost one of my young nephews. It's such a tragic story. The Comora's reign of terror has often caught innocent bystanders in its crossfire. Naples is the murder capital of Europe. Giangi wants to take me to meet someone who survived the Camorra and continues to fight against them.
Okay, Francesca, please wait here for me for a minute. I'm going to check that everything is safe in this area and then come to pick you up, okay? Just 2 seconds, okay?
So Giangi's brought me to meet somebody who took on the Camorra. It's exactly here where the Camorra operate.
Antonio Seccia is a cafe owner who's lived and worked in Naples his whole life. In 2001, a Camorra gang started to threaten him.
Okay.
Giangi feels it's now safe for me to make my way over to the cafe.
Can you tell me how the Camorra operate?
Vengono, ti danno dei giorni di tempo.
They come here and give you a day when you have to pay a certain amount of money. If you don't pay, they come back and threaten to take your life.
Is everyone asked for payment, or is it just certain businesses?
Business that are doing well, then they go to other places too.
Ma man mano vanno da tutti.
They wanted 50,000 euros for the bar and 1,000 euros per month.
And if you don't do it?
They come here with a gun to make you feel scared.
Per farti mettere paura.
Antonio goes on to tell me a Camorra gang member once threatened him whilst holding a gun to his head.
Ho avuto paura, il primo impatto è stato la paura, però
I was scared as hell at that moment. I decided to go to the police and make a statement. The same day, they were arrested.
la stessa giornata.
When the gang members got out of jail, they returned to Antonio's cafe and firebombed it.
Questo stiamo facendo. Sì, ho visto.
When I came here and saw everything gone, it was a shock. The one thing I had been working so hard for all my life, I put all my savings into, gone. Words can't describe how I felt.
Antonio shows us the photos he took on that fateful night.
It's totally gutted. It's gone.
The police caught the culprits and they were found guilty at their trial.
Mi fa rabbia, però.
I get very angry when I think about what happened. But at the same time, I also have hope.
A lot of people wouldn't do what you did. They wouldn't stand up to them.
La paura c'è, ma non ci penso perché sennò non potevo.
If you don't stand up to those people, they will continue forever.
Come prima, continuo ad andare avanti, cercando di andare sempre più meglio di prima.
I'm still scared, but I have to stand up to them because life goes on. I have to move on. Life goes on and I won't stop because of that.
E combattiamo.
I'm scared,
Andare avanti.
but I'll still be standing here, ready for whatever is going to happen.
It's been eye-opening meeting somebody who stood up to the Camorra. Despite being terrorized, and despite the threats to his family, Antonio refuses to be bullied by the gangs.
Neapolitans have always battled on in the face of adversity. During World War II, Naples was the most bombed city in Italy, killing around 20,000 people. I remember my dad talking about how his family would take refuge from the Allied bombs in air raid shelters located under the city.
My father told me the stories quite a few times about coming down here with his brothers and sisters and his mum. And to be perfectly honest, whilst they were fascinating, I never really pictured exactly what it was like. You didn't know when you were here what was happening above, and you didn't know when you left. If everything that you'd worked for, your home, all your possessions, everything, would be there or not. Whether you had anything to go home to.
One survivor is 81-year-old Professor Aldo De Gioia.
What was it like living through World War II?
It was very hard for us. It was dangerous and we suffered a lot. Because of the bombing, all the buildings were destroyed, and the smell of the dead bodies under the buildings.
How did you escape the bombing?
We came here to Naples underground to the shelter. It was a safe place for me, but it does remind me of terror and tragedy. I remember one night in particular, there were a lot of people trying to get down to the shelter. There was a lot of pushing, shouting. Someone fell and 72 people died because of the crash.
Thank you very much. I'm honored that you took the time to speak to me.
Thank you very much. I'm the one who wants to say thank you, because even though it was a tragedy, you brought me back to the past. I became a child again. Thank you.
I'm following Professor De Gioia's footsteps on what would have been his route down to safety. Naples Underground is hidden 50 meters below the surface. It's a labyrinth of caves, tunnels, and passageways.
And there would have been thousands of people in here. It's not exactly comfortable. Absolutely crammed in. No space to sit down. This is your refuge.
These people would have spent countless days and nights down here, and probably owe their lives to this place. This huge network of corridors and rock cavities were originally hollowed out by the Greeks in the 4th century. They used the stone to build the city's walls and temples. Then the Romans built an underground water system here. No one really knows how big this is, and some people have got lost trying to find out.
Genji gave me this the first time that we met. The idea is it's a charm to keep you safe and to protect you. I've not had any bad luck so far on my travels, so...
As I explore further on my own, I begin to see why.
It's a lot bigger down here than I thought it would be. There seem to be hundreds of tiny tunnels. And I don't know where they lead to, and I don't know what's there, and I don't know what's through them. I'm gonna see where this goes. I'm gonna go down one of the tunnels. I'm scared of getting lost.
Definitely not a place for claustrophobics. This tunnel is getting smaller and smaller. I'm not enjoying this.
This is small, this is really small. My head's touching the ceiling. My shoulders are touching the sides. This place is absolutely huge, and the tunnels just go on and on.
I've had enough of this, and I want to head out, if I can.
Oh. I can't go any further. It seems to be blocked at the end.
I'm meant to be meeting Janji this afternoon. I hope he's all right. After what seems like an eternity, I finally find the stairs that lead to the surface.
Hey, Francesca. How are you? How was it?
Honestly,
Yes.
horrible.
Was it terrifying? Or?
It was scary, I was scared. That's not a place to spend time on your own. For me, that was the most terrifying thing I've done.
I'm at the end of my journey, and for me, Naples has earned its reputation as a city of danger and surprise. I was spooked out at the cemeteries and burial chambers,
I've never seen anything like this.
shocked by the grip of fear the mafia has on the people who call this place home.
It's totally gutted. It's gone.
And as I walked on the world's most volatile volcano, I got a sense of the overwhelming danger that threatens the entire city. But the Neapolitans carry on nonetheless, with a smile on their face.
It's very easy as a visitor to say that living here is terrifying. But for the people that I've met, they clearly love their life here. They would rather face the dangers here than live anywhere else.
È bella Napoli!